The last time you had a headache, you took a pill. 20 minutes later, it started to fade. You did not think about it again. The pill worked. That is what pills do. But part of that relief was not the drug. Part of it was you. And the strange thing science has learned is that the part that was you can be measured, isolated in a laboratory, switched on and off. It shows up on brain scans. It can even be blocked with another drug, the way you would block morphine. Your body has a pharmacy inside it. The key that opens it is not chemistry. It is expectation. You were probably taught that the placebo effect means it is all in your head. A polite way of saying nothing really happened. That is almost exactly backwards. A placebo is a real physical event, triggered by a belief instead of a molecule. Your nervous system predicts what is about to happen to you and prepares your body in advance. That preparation is the medicine. So how much of your medicine cabinet is actually you? The modern story starts in 1955 with an anesthesiologist named Henry Beecher. He had been a battlefield doctor in the Second World War, and he had watched something he could not explain. Badly wounded soldiers sometimes needed far less morphine than they should have. Some refused it entirely. His suggestion was that meaning changes pain. For a soldier, a wound meant the war was over, and he was going home alive. The same wound in a factory meant ruin. Same damage. Different message. Different pain. The proof arrived in 1978 through a trick. A team including John Levine worked with patients recovering from dental surgery. Some were given a placebo and reported real pain relief. Then the researchers gave those same patients naloxone, the drug used to reverse an overdose. It blocks the receptors that opioids attach to. It has no interest in your beliefs. The relief disappeared. Think about what that means. If the relief were imaginary, naloxone would have had nothing to grab. Instead, it deleted it, which means the placebo had produced genuine opioid activity. Your body manufactured the painkiller itself, on the strength of an expectation. You did not imagine the relief. You made it. Fabrizio Benedetti in Turin spent decades taking this apart and found something that should unsettle you. He gave people real drugs without telling them. A painkiller delivered secretly by a machine at the correct dose works less well than the same dose given by a person who says, out loud, "This will help your pain." Identical chemistry, different knowledge, which means a meaningful part of what you call the drug is actually the announcement of the drug. But all of this assumes you are being fooled. So a placebo you know is a placebo should do nothing at all. Ted Kapchuk at Harvard tested it anyway. In 2010, his team gave patients with irritable bowel syndrome a bottle of pills clearly labeled as placebo. They were told directly the pills were inactive. No deception. Nobody fooled. They improved significantly more than the group given nothing. So what is doing the work? Your brain is a prediction machine. Every pill you have ever swallowed that helped taught your body a lesson. Ritual, then relief. That pairing gets learned the way a dog learns a bell. The bottle, the label, the doctor's voice, the waiting room. Your body reads all of it as evidence and starts the response before the chemistry arrives. The ritual was never separate from the treatment. It was always part of the dose, and the same system runs in reverse. Tell someone a harmless procedure will hurt, and it hurts more. Read them a list of side effects, and they get more side effects, even from a sugar pill. That is called the nocebo effect, and it is the reason the way a doctor speaks to you is not just kindness. It is a clinical variable. Now the limit because it matters. You cannot think your way out of illness. Placebo effects work on what your brain already controls. Pain, nausea, fatigue, movement. They do not shrink tumors or clear infections, and people die believing otherwise. But inside that real territory, the effect is enormous. And you are already using it constantly without knowing. So the next time you have a headache, you will take a pill. 20 minutes later, it will start to fade. But now you know what happened in those 20 minutes. The chemistry did part of it. The rest was your own nervous system, reading the bottle, remembering every other time this worked, and building the relief out of your own body. The pill worked. So did you.